name is Dyment, and I work for ASI, the Children's Center, here at Cal State Fullerton. I've worked here for 10 years, and I am the cook. So today, I'm going to show you how to make honey Tabasco chicken and a rice pilaf. So, first, we're going to preheat the oven to 425. Then, I'm using chicken thighs today. We're going to season some flour. I'm throwing in some thyme, of course, sea salt, paprika, and cayenne. Notice I'm not measuring it. I usually don't measure unless I'm baking, because baking is a complete science. I'm just mixing the flour with the spices. I'm going to put a little olive oil into a non-stick pan, and I'm going to dredge thighs. So, I'm using thighs today, skin on, bone in. I think a lot of people today use boneless, skinless chicken breasts, which are fine. I prefer thighs because I think they have much more flavor. So we're going to put it through dredge. Just kind of pressing it into the flour. Shake off any excess and putting it skin side down into the pan. So we're going to pre-cook the chicken on top of the stove to get a nice color to it. And then we're going to finish cooking it in the oven. It needs to get to 165 degrees. When working with chicken, it's very important that if you have a cutting board or bowl or gloves, whatever you have, make sure that you don't do any cross-contamination. So start fresh. If you need another container to put something in, do not use the chicken one. Okay, while the chicken is browning, we're going to start the rice. So today we're going to use long grain white rice. We're going to first put a little olive oil into the pan, and then we're going to put a mirepoix mixture. So mirepoix is just carrots, celery, and onions. And this mixture is used in a lot of cooking. Soups, rices, you name it. Mirepoix goes into it. So it's just diced up. And we're going to put 2 cups of rice into it. This is a long grain white rice. So the ratio from rice to water is 1 to 2. One cup rice to 2 cups liquid when you're doing long grain rice. When you're doing a medium grain rice, it's 1 to 1.5. And when you do a short grain rice, like sticky rice, it would be 1 to 1.25 cups of water. My favorite rice to use is jasmine rice. I think it goes nicely with everything. So right now, I'm just browning the rice a bit to give it more flavor. It will give it kind of a nutty taste to it. And then when we go to add water to it, we're actually going to add chicken stock to it. I use better than bouillon. This is not an ad, but I love this stuff. You can get it low sodium, and there's no MSG in this. Follow the directions on the back for how much you add to dilute it into the water. Or you can just use pre-made chicken stock. You can just use water or vegetable stock. Anything's fine. Notice we're not going to use the same utensil for the rice and the chicken. Just going to check it and see if it's getting brown. It's getting there. It looks nice. If you like garlic, you can put garlic into this. I like to finish this at home with some fresh cilantro and some lime zest. So now I'm going to put in 4 cups of water because I have 2 cups of rice in here. Remember, it's a 2 to 1 ratio. Remember, when you add anything cold into something hot, there's going to be steam. So go slow. put some bit of the bouillon into it. I do not dilute it down first. I just throw it in there and then take care of it and make sure it gets mixed in well. So I'm going to leave the lid off the rice for a little bit and watch it so it can come to a boil, and then I'll put the lid on and let it simmer on low for about 15 minutes. Let's check the chicken. It's getting there. We're going to turn it up a little bit hotter. It's cooking along. You have to have patience when you cook. Make sure you always leave yourself enough time and enough patience. Okay, the bed of the bouillon, chicken base, is dissolved in there, so I'm going to put the lid on. It's still up on high. I'm going to wait till I start hearing the lid rattle, then I'll know it's boiling, and I'll turn it down to low for about 15 minutes. Chicken's almost ready to go into the oven, and then we'll make the sauce. Try to have your chicken as dry as possible before you dredge it. That way it doesn't pop at you when you're browning it. Always turn your handles inward from the stove top so that no one walks by and bumps it. So I'm going to pop this into the oven. It's at 425, probably about 15 minutes. We're going to check it to see the color of the chicken or to see if it hit the 165 if you have a thermometer. Okay, now we're going to make a sauce in this little pan. So, sauce consists of butter, honey, and Tabasco. Again, just throw it in. Couple tablespoons of butter, a couple tablespoons of honey. Tabasco, go light until you know your crowd. At home, I can't put enough Tabasco into it, but not everyone likes it as hot. Oh, it's gonna be slow. I warmed the honey a bit, but I don't think it's gonna work. So it's about equal parts of butter to honey. I took the shaker top off the Tabasco just to pour it, so hopefully I don't forget that. I'm going to dump it in. So we're just melting the butter in with the honey, kind of incorporating it together. Another thing to remember, if you have a metal utensil like I'm using here, whisk, make sure you don't let it sit like this over the hot burner. You'll burn your hands. Putting some Tabasco in. Probably put the butter is 1 to honey to 1 to Tabasco would be a half. And this is the color of it. Hopefully you can see it. So the sauce is done. I'm going to turn it off. And the rice is cooking. The chicken's cooking. We'll be back in about 15 minutes and look at everything. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes. I just now turned off the rice. We're going to take a look at it. Looks good. I'm going to leave the lid off of it because I don't want it to keep cooking with the lid on it. It's going to keep steaming, so we're just going to put that there. Chicken looks good, but we need to make sure it's cooked all the way. So here's the thermometer. That's the temperature point that it has to get to. It needs to read 165 Fahrenheit. Don't hit the bone. But you have to make sure that's all the way in. And it's at 160. If you don't have a thermometer, there's something you can do. You can just cut into it and check to make sure the juices are running clear. So I'm going to go with the piece that looks it's not the brownest piece. cut into it. The juices are totally clear. If they are pink or red, you need to keep cooking it. And we're gonna plate it. I just blanched some broccoli earlier, so it's just throw the broccoli into some hot water for a minute and then into an ice bath. Keeps it nice and green and crunchy. A little rice pilaf, chicken thigh, your sauce, and there you have it. Honey Tabasco chicken with rice pilaf and steamed broccoli. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.